Hey, what's up? It's Coach JG with Jag Training, and today we're going to be working on our foundations. All right, let's get started by stretching out our neck with some cervical circles. Twist that head around nice and slow. Work out those kinks. Then we're going to hit some arm circles, small forward and backwards, and big forwards and backwards, about 15 seconds each direction. Then let's move the focus to our hips with some hip circles. Make your circles as big as possible, stretching out those hips. Next, we're going to bring it down onto our hands and knees for thoracic reach and rotation. We're going to hit 30 seconds on each side. Thread your arm through the gap between your opposite arm and leg. Reach as far as you can, then open it up as high as you can to the ceiling. Find a great range of motion for both directions. Next, we're going to get the spider monkey lunge. We're going to bring one leg up to the outside of our hands at a time. Pause for a second, then return to starting position. We can also drop our knees to the ground to practice this one as a modification. Last, we're going to hit some jumping jacks for 30 seconds. Now that we're warm, let's go ahead and get into part number 1, starting with a single leg balance with a front reach. It's going to be 6 on each leg. Keep your hips square as you reach 1 foot back and both your hands forward. Go to whatever range of motion works for you. Now we have your bodyweight squat for 15 reps. Sit back and down like you're sitting into a chair. Squeeze your glutes and engage your core. And keep your knees behind your toes. Next, we have a seated row. Sit up nice and tall, low back, neutral position. Feet out wider if you need that little bit of an extra challenge. Make sure the band is securely fastened around your feet so it doesn't snap back at you. Now, let's bring it to our front for some push-ups. Hands about shoulders width apart, feet about hips width apart. Lower your body, arms at about 45-degree angle, and press your body away from the ground. Let's try to get a minimum of 2 rounds in part number 1. You have 10 minutes. Let's go. Next, part number 2. Starting with a reverse lunge, 10 on each leg. Knees at 90 degrees, chest up tall. Next, let's grab our bands for 15 reps of a band bicep curl. Elbows tucked into your side the entire time. Pull your hands up to about 90 degrees, then slowly lower them back down. About 3 seconds up, 4 seconds down. Now let's split our stance and step on the band with the same hand we're going to pull overhead. Keep your elbow by your ear and slowly bend that elbow so your hand lowers straight backwards. Keep your bicep by your ear as you raise your hand to the ceiling. Now palms face down as we slowly lower our hands up to our shoulders height. Keep them a shoulders width apart. Repeat this for 5 reps. Great job on part number 2. Part number 3, we're going to get our heart rate up with some speed skaters. Get down in a nice athletic position with your knees behind your toes, your chest up tall. Jump from foot to foot, pause 1 second, then jump to the other side. Now let's bring it to our front in a high plank. Hands underneath your shoulders, hips, feet, all in a straight line. You're going to tap your shoulder with your opposite hand. If you need to, drop it to your knees. Next, we're going to drive those knees high into the air, 20 on each leg. Use those arms as if you're running. You have 10 minutes to complete at least 2 rounds. Let's go. Part number 4, we're going to start with 50 imaginary jump ropes. If you have a real jump rope, go ahead and use it. Next, we're going to bring it down to our low plank for some plank jacks. Shoulders, hips, and feet all in a straight line. Evenly distribute weight throughout that full forearm and relax that hand. Now let's imagine we have a med ball and we're going to bring it overhead and then slam it through the ground. Contract your muscles as you bring it towards the ground. Go ahead and give it a try with different size balls. Fantastic job. I'm so proud of you. Let's get cooled down, starting with a cross body stretch for 30 seconds each way. Next, we have an overhead tricep stretch. Pull at the elbow,
5.
but keep your head up nice and tall. Now we're going to bring 1 foot off the ground. Hold it with your hand and keep your hips pressed forward to stretch our quad. Last, we have the downward dog. Push your heels into the ground and press your chest down towards your knees. Have a nice night.